To know Lenni is to know a force of nature. Lenni is a visionary and is a person who moves mountains to make things real that most people don't see.
After practicing for 12 years, I decided that I needed to get closer to that mission of social justice, and I was very fortunate to become a professor here in New York. So hi, I'm Lenni Benson. I have a very long title. It's Distinguished Chaired Professor of Immigration and Human Rights Law because I've been here a while. I've been at New York Law School since 1994.
In the beginning, Lenni's vision was to meet a crisis moment where from one day to the next, 40,000 unaccompanied minors showed up at the border.
Children were always sent to this country by their parents, their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles for an opportunity. We began to see a real increase in the late 2000s. I was riding the subway with an immigration judge named Patricia Rowan, and while we're riding the subway, she said, I really wish we could get this firm to start representing some of the children. And I turned to her, I said, what do you mean the children? And she said, oh, I have an entire docket of just unaccompanied children. And I said, Pat, I had no idea. ICE is actually putting children alone into the court. She goes, we have 4 dockets now, Lenni. And I said, I don't know where I've been. I've been busy being an associate dean and teaching civil procedure. I'm coming next week to court. So I went to watch her docket, and there was a little boy all by himself at the front table, but his little feet didn't touch the floor. And I could also see from where I was sitting that he was gripping the arms of the chair so much that his hands were turning white and he was shaking. The judge is trying to speak to him. The translator is translating. It's not working. I jump into the center aisle of the courtroom and I said, Your Honor. She said, yes, Professor Benson. I said, if it please the court, I would like to ask for a recess so that I can assist this child as a friend of the court. And I said, okay, I think I can find a lawyer to help you. And I dialed one of my former students. And I said, Heather, I don't know if you're busy, but you know I was gonna call you one day. And she said, yeah, what is it? Not only did she help that child, she helped the mom too. And I said, I can do this. And so the project began with me doing this sort of bespoke matching of individual lawyers. But in 2014, the number of children arriving from Central America exponentially tripled. And so City Council appropriated funds for safe passage that allowed us to have our first full-time staff attorneys. And today it's a staff of 62 and a budget of nearly $8 million.
Without Lenni, SPP would not exist. Through her grit and hard work, we are successful today. Not only did Lenni have the vision to provide free legal representation to unaccompanied minors, she also had the forethought to identify both resources to create the organization and build out a powerful pool of pro bono attorneys from law firms from all over the city to provide free legal representation.
I think our next chapter is we need everyone seeing this video to give, to roll up their sleeves, to link their arms, and to join us, and not to give into fear or hopelessness, because now is the time to come together in community and do good.